What's up, guys? This is Daminette here, and I want to talk about the current situation on the content in Fortnite, and how Epic is completely and utterly clueless when it comes to adding and removing it. At this point of Fortnite, I think it's clear that Epic has completely lost all sense of cohesion when it comes to content. Almost every update for this entirety of Season 7 that I feel has added nothing to people's overall enjoyment of Fortnite. Epic continues to keep stuff in the game that nobody wants, and they remove stuff that they have no business in removing. Me and my friends that play Fortnite have been talking about this a lot, and if Epic doesn't start listening to what the community wants, I'm not going to be playing Fortnite as often as I want to. There's just so much stuff that should have been updated this season, and it's absolutely irritating why Epic won't change the game for the better. In this video, I'm going to list examples on how Epic is being trash at handling Fortnite. My first big example on what I mean is the introduction to creative mode. Answer this question real quick. When was the last time you played this mode, or see anybody else play it, or hear your friends talking about it? Exactly. The only time I've ever been in this mode was to do those Christmas challenges, and I've only been in there with my friends one time that I can remember. Why in the hell was this mode added? This unfinished mess of a mode was admittedly rushed out by Epic so that the game would have something so players could, quote-unquote, make their own worlds, when there's so much wrong with it and there's still, to this day, not that much you can do with it. It's still buggy, the interface is still confusing as all hell, there's no smooth transitions into going into already created modes and worlds in the main hub, and it's just so goddamn boring. You know, instead of this mess of a mode, you know what should have been vastly improved? Playgrounds. You know why Playgrounds needs to be updated? Because it has everything to do with what people play Fortnite for, to better themselves overall in the game. There's been absolutely no updates to Playground at all, I think, for the last season and this season. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna list some things in that Playground should have been updated with instead of creative mode even existing. 1. Inviting more than 4 players in a match. How in the hell are you able to have a 16-player servers in a mode that you just created, but not in a mode that you already have? I know for a fact people have been wanting this feature ever since Playgrounds came out. The map just feels so empty with just 4 players. And I don't mean like randomly filling up with 4 or 8 or 11 other people. I mean having a private Playgrounds match with like up to 12 other people. It's completely backwards to me that this hasn't been put in yet. 2. An option for unlimited materials. The only saving grace to a lot of people about creative mode is the automatic unlimited materials option. But then again, that honestly should have already been an option in Playgrounds in the first place, because people asked about it when they first made Playgrounds. And another example is, how about adding BS weapons and not removing the stuff that people don't want? The weapon roster changes this season were absolutely wild. You take out the heavy shotgun, which needs to be reworked right now to combat the heavy pump. The bolt action sniper rifle, which had no business being removed. The burst, which I didn't mind because those guns suck, but again, just like what I said with the heavy shotgun, it needed to be reworked. But you keep stuff in the game that nobody wants. Nobody wants balloons. These things are overpowered as hell and cheap. There's no audio cues that a person is currently using the balloon, and you'll find out once you're dead. The only audio cue that you have is if the balloon pops. And then you look up, and then somebody put in 160 damage from an SMG. Nobody wants the turret. This thing is cheap, and it was put on the game to quote-unquote combat building. But there's no ammo capacity, and a cooldown meter that cools in about 2 seconds, giving you no time to retaliate, resulting in you constantly being defenseless. Nobody wants Dynamite. The Dynamite fit the Cowboy-esque theme of last season, but now there's no reason why they should be in here. These things are absolute anti-building grenades, able to take out walls within a 3-block area. Why? Nobody wants boomboxes. Thankfully, they got vaulted, but they need to be removed from the game completely, like they're still in Playgrounds. And for God's sakes, please remove planes after this season is over with. They were fun at first, but they have become the biggest pain in the ass due to every single match in the final circles. They are used as easy cheats. They can third party the last few people fighting, and once you get them low enough, you can swoop down and finish people off. They are annoying. And now, you're adding another weapon nobody asked for. Nobody asked for your fireworks turret. And the switch from the bolt action to the silence bolt action was dumb. Now you only have two types of sniper rifles. One where you get hit and have no idea where they came from, or a sniper where it doesn't matter where you hit them, it's more than likely a one-hit kill. Do you see how backwards and scattershot Epic is handling their content? Sure, it's a good thing to have ideas, but stop literally putting something out after you just came up with it off the top of your head and giving it to everybody where it can easily be abused and ruin the game. Just like you did with the Infinity Sword. Let's talk about something else this season that I also thought was extremely disappointing and lazy. The Ice King event. Okay, so there's a floating orb over Polar Peak, right? No one knows what it's about. Then it appears to be a clock, and the event happens. The Ice King appears floating over the spawn area with the huge crystal specter peering over him. With the swoosh of his hand, he covers the entire island with smoke and fog and zombies? Again? Wait. Time out. You're telling me in the span of 4 months since Fort Nightmares, you couldn't make a different enemy type for a completely different season and event? So you're telling me you couldn't make mutated snowman, mutated ice monsters, mutated anything snow related? Nope. You reuse something that has nothing to do with anything snow related. Zombies. The only thing that changed with the zombies was that they were blue and threw snowballs. Yay. This event was such a disappointment, and they were hyping it up too. And I even heard of people when it came out, nobody really liked this mode. The zombies were still annoying as hell, and other than squads, there wasn't any other way to play without the zombies. And if you were playing in squads or duos, there's no way you could revive your teammates. And the challenges for that event, in my opinion, were absolute trash. The only challenges that I were personally able to complete was the damage one. Most of them were like, kill 150 other brutes, kill 300 of the regular gnomes or whatever. And they took so long. And after I got the black and blue ice skin, I just waited until the event was over and then I got back on. This event was a big example of how lazy and out of touch Epic is. You reskin a predominantly disliked event from the past and gave it back to us as if it was a new thing. If you are able to make drastic map changes from season to season in the span of 10 weeks, which is a 2.5 month period, but not create something new between the last Fortnite event and the Christmas event, which was 4 months, this just shows that Epic is extremely lazy. Now, was every update this season bad? No. But honestly, Fortnite just needs to reset the Season 1 and Season 2. We honestly do not need this much stuff in the game for it to quote-unquote be good. The way content is handled in Fortnite right now is bad. We have 5 vehicles or ways to travel, including zip lines, 27 usable weapons, and 7 throwable weapons. We don't need this many vehicles, we don't need zip lines, we do not need all these things to play the game. More stuff to play with does not mean it's good. Quality is what Epic should be striving for, and that's not what they're doing. If Fortnite keeps this up, the game is just going to be another Paragon. For people that don't know, Paragon was a game that Epic released years ago, but it was shut down because Epic had failed to take care of it. Problems with the game started occurring when Epic had failed to meet customer expectations by not fixing the game. At first, there was a huge map, and later they had updated the game and gave it a smaller map, and they never switch back, and people ask for it to be switched back. Everyone called for the balancing issues of characters, of items, and like I said, Epic never fixed them. A slew of problems that Epic refused to fix resulted in only a 1.5 to 2 year lifespan of Paragon. And the game had a really decent player base too. Nowhere near the size of Fortnite, but with proper gear, it could have easily been a way better game later on in its lifespan. And Epic has nobody to blame but themselves for Fortnite's currently declining numbers. Most of my friends' opinions, and me included, always resulted in us agreeing on this. Fortnite is not a bad game. It's the stuff that the game is doing right now and Epic's mismanage it makes it nowhere near as fun to play as it was in the past. Even though it's not at this point, eventually they're gonna almost completely rely on their younger fan base to keep the game afloat. But even then, if they don't fix their stuff, it'll only be a matter of time before people like Ninja, Tfue, Myth, and other Fortnite players will turn on the game, and with them, the audience will follow. I do know one thing. Next season, Epic needs to be on top of everything. Content needs to be spot on with what consumers want, or the game will fail. And I know I didn't get into every single little thing that happened this season, but these are the things that really pissed me off about Fortnite, and I need to talk about this stuff before the season comes to an end. If Epic doesn't fix this, in a year's time, Fortnite will be game over. Well, guys, that was my rant video for today. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.